have two questions for you, both on timing. The first, do you plan to launch the corporate credit facility and the Main Street lending facilities in May or early May? Anything you can give us a sense on timing? And the second, in the statement you refer today, the FOMC refers today to a lot of medium-term risks from the pandemic. That sounds like you all think this is going to be a long recovery, a long road to recovery. Can you give any more guidance on how you all see this recovery taking shape? Thanks.
Sure. So in terms of those facilities, the corporate credit facilities are near being finalized and will be operating, I would say, soon, fairly soon. Main Street facility is we're close to announcing to issuing a new term sheet. As you know, we put out a term sheet for comment a while back, and we got a couple thousand comments. We've carefully studied them. We've tried to reflect those in what we're doing now. I think with Main Street, there'll be at least a couple of different kinds of lending going on there. This is a broad area of the economy with many different kinds of credit needs, so we're going to keep at that for some time, I think, adding in sectors and lending products. So I think we'll probably be continuing to work and expand Main Street for some time, but it won't be done quite as quickly. But the first part of it, I think, will be done fairly quickly. In terms of our statement, so what we said was that I'll just read the sentence. It says, ongoing public health crisis will weigh heavily on economic activity, employment, and inflation in the near term and poses considerable risks to the economic outlook over the medium term. So the medium, but what we meant by that over the medium term. So obviously, what we're talking about is not right now in the very near term. It's between now and the long term. So the next year or so. And I would point to a couple of risks to the outlook that what we were thinking of. First is just the virus. How long will it take to get it under control? Will there be additional outbreaks? Will there be drugs that can either treat it or a vaccine of some kind? So all of that is very much shrouded in uncertainty. The second issue, and this is a very substantial one, is just the possibility of damage to the productive capacity of the economy through a couple of channels. The first is just workers who, if one is unemployed for an extended period, that person can lose the skills that are needed, can lose touch with the labor force, and have difficulty restarting his or her career. So that's a feature of deep and long recessions, and that's something we've got to watch out for. Another is just businesses. These thousands of great medium and small-sized businesses that we have all over the country, they're worth so much more to the economy than the sum of their net assets. They contain, they're job creators. They're really important. And if we see an unnecessary insolvencies, a wave of those, that could be damaging to the performance of the economy over time. So the good news is that we have policies, as I mentioned in my remarks, we have policies that can address those things. But not perfectly. So that's another risk. The third thing I would point to is just the global dimension. This is a very global phenomenon, and we're seeing economic data from around the globe, which is very, very negative, and that too can weigh on U.S. economic performance over time. I would say just on the U.S. economy, there are things you can say. One can say. The first is that in the near term, we're going to see, significant declines in economic activity, significant declines in employment, and increases in unemployment. We're going to see that as a consequence of the virus and the measures we're taking to protect ourselves from it. The next phases are more uncertain, highly uncertain, but we will go through a phase starting fairly soon where we begin to reopen the economy, and probably the economic activity will pick up as consumer spending picks up. Consumer spending, as I mentioned, has gone down quite a lot. It'll begin to pick up as people start to return to their normal patterns of spending. But the chances are that it won't go right back to where we were, because people will, until they're confident that the virus is well and truly under control, then they will be somewhat probably reluctant to undertake certain kinds of activity. So it may take some time for us to get back. It probably will take some time for us to get back to a more normal level of unemployment and ultimately to maximum employment.